loaners, so we can loan you for this evening too. So raise your hand and hey David, can you grab some loops right over there?
Sure, how many loops do I need to grab?
Right over there.
1, 2, 3, gotcha. There you go, sir.
So everyone have their loop belt, or you still passing some out? Okay. So when it comes down to buying a diamond or a gemstone or actually your next piece of jewelry, it's important to use a loop. And that's why we're going to do with this right here. Because you're going to want to inspect the quality. You're going to want to see if the diamonds are the VS, which are the high-end quality, if they're the SI, how they're set, what's the quality and the craftsmanship. And there is a big difference on the market today. And that's what we're going to teach you, is what to look for in the diamond and check out the quality. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open our loops up. We're going to fold them open from here, and we're going to get comfortable with putting our hands through the loop. So, for me, my favorite is kind of put it like this, like a trigger, and you're going to hold it like this right here. Okay. Now, all of these loops tonight are 10 power. That means they're 10 times magnification. And this is important because when it comes to final inspection of a diamond, from the most prestigious gem labs in the world, all final grading decisions are done with a 10 power. So from flawless to SI or every kind of diamond, the final decision is all made with a 10 power loop. So this is the #1 loop that all jewelers are going to use. So now that you know how to hold it, what we're going to do is we're going to find our dominant eye. Your dominant eye is going to be your eye that's your powerful eye. It's usually the same eye that you would write with or shake a hand with. It's going to be the stronger of the two. So if you're thinking it's going to be this eye or this eye, which eye, when you close your eye, do you feel the strongest in using? So take a second and kind of think about which is going to be your stronger eye. Yeah. Now also, when we do find our dominant eye and we're looking, you're going to keep the opposite eye open. So don't close it. This will cause eye fatigue. So we want to make sure our eyes are both open when we're using a loop. Okay. So we have the loop. We know how to hold it. And we know which eye we're going to use. For me, I write my right hand, and my right eye is my loop eye. So next, we have to get what we're going to inspect. For me, I have a 1.5 canary yellow diamonds. What are you guys going to look at with your loops? So if you have a piece of jewelry, go ahead and take it off, and let's hold it. So for the gentlemen or the ladies who might not have something, nickels, quarters, they work good. Or my all-time favorite is your finger. You can focus on your finger really well because you can see your fingerprint and examine that. And that's always a great thing to look for. Okay. Now, before we go examining, these loops have 1.5 to 2-inch focal point, which means they're only going to work this much. So for those who've ever looked through a loop this way, you can't see anything. It's literally this close. Right, so we held our hand with our loop. We're going to take our piece of jewelry, and we're going to hold it out, and we're going to touch our hands just like this. And the reason that we do this is for stability. The tighter your hands are, the less they're going to shake, and the more we're going to be able to focus. Right? So next, we're going to pull this to our dominant eye. So we're going to go from here and rest it on your dominant eye. Now, if you hold it like this, your thumb makes a great little place to rest underneath your eye so you can hold it steady. Now, instead of looking down on the corner of your eye, the goal is bring this up so your eye is parallel with the loop. So you're looking in a straight line through the loop and into the piece. Kind of just like this. Not like this, but like here.
Get in there real close.
Real close. It's closer than you think.
You got a question?
Sure.
What did you get?
Bifocals,
Or the 3 line, whatever?
then you're gonna, whatever on your glasses is the strongest that you feel the most comfortable with, from there you have to go up and down. So some people will take their glasses off and just use the loop. So at that point, it's a comfort level, whatever you're most comfortable with. Now once we've found our focus range, which is 1.5 inches, we're going to practice turning the piece of jewelry and looking at different kind of angles. Or if you use your finger, practice rotating. And you're going to want to do this and practice staying in that focal field. The better we can stay in the focal field, the better we're going to be able to see everything in the diamond and not miss everything. All right. So, now just so you know what we're looking for. When we have our diamond, this is a very large diamond. It's very rare. This is why the police officers here, just for this reason. So, this right here is the table. It's a big window. And that's what we're going to act like this is. So, the window is to see through. So what we're doing is we're seeing through this window, and we're going straight through it and seeing the other side. And that's this little tip. You want to be able to focus on that tip, and that tip is called the culet. So, once we find that tip, what you need to do is kind of start in a clockwise motion. So what we're going to do is look in, and we're going to go clockwise, and kind of scan left to right, and move all the way around the diamond. And we want to do this instead of just randomly scanning, so we don't miss anything. Remember, what we're looking at is not very large. In fact, I'm going to show you right here what an inclusion is going to look like. If you look on the board, this right here is going to zoom in, for those who can see it. And this is an SI diamond. Can y'all see these little crystals? So all this is little white molecules that haven't kind of gotten clear, and they're left in the diamond as the process of being made. Some of your diamonds are going to have these little white dots. Some are going to have little white streaks that look like lightning bolts. Some might have little black spots that look like pepper. All these are inclusions, and all these are normal in diamonds. We're going to see them. And for those who have DS quality, which is very slightly included, it's going to be very difficult to find that, because these diamonds have very far and few between inclusions, and this is where it's going to take some time to find it. And that's where we can help you tonight. Locate these so you can identify your diamond. All right, so when we're looking through this, look through the center, just like you're doing, zoom through it, and try to focus in on those inclusions, and remember which ones that are yours. Now, we don't expect everyone here tonight to become pros at using the loop, but what we'd love for you to do is feel comfortable using it, knowing the proper way to use it, so when you go to a store, a jewelry store, and hopefully this jewelry store, and you buy your next piece of jewelry, got one person right there. Now, you're going to feel comfortable asking Robert or Katie or Jeff, or any of us, to use a loop to inspect that diamond, to inspect that gemstone. Or if you do custom with us, so you can look at the quality of our craftsmanship. We stand behind everything here, and all of our craftsmen or designers, we select them specifically for how good they do. So we want you to see how everything is finished. You should always be able to ask for a loop and feel comfortable with whatever you're buying. You would never buy a car without looking at the engine. We don't expect you to buy a piece of jewelry or even pick up a repair that was left to you, an estate piece or your favorite engagement ring that has a tip off. And you just want to make sure that we put that tip on properly and we did a good job. You're never going to hurt our feelings. In fact, we dare you and challenge you to do that. Get a loop out. We'll always have them and inspect every single piece. It's better for you and it's better for us because we want you to be educated clients here at Blue Wire Keepers. So, are there any other questions I can help answer to about using a loop? No question? I did all. Yes, miss?
Robert, is it better to hold it up to the light and let light come through it or not?
Well, there's two things. Obviously, if you have a light source like this, and you're looking through the diamond, if you're going like this, you're casting a shadow, so to get the best light in the diamond, you're going to want to look up. Diamonds live off of light. Light just breathes a fire to them. So the more light, the better it's going to be.
Can everybody hear back here?
Let me ask you, sapphire and emerald cut and everything else, the rules still say it stays the same, but to the center and then to the left and right?
To the center and do the left and right is much, not less a rule. It's to get you trained so you don't miss something. So if you just kind of, you can actually, if you prefer to stop at the top and just kind of work your way down like you're reading, that's comfortable too. But for me, I find, say, I'm a watch guy. So I find 12 o'clock on the diamond, and I just go clockwise and cover everything. And then I'll spin it after I look on the top, and I kind of look through it, and I go here. I'll turn it sideways, and I'll look here on the side. Make sure everything is perfectly correct. Now some of you might have your diamond might be sanded, and some of it might be high polished. Either one of these is just a characteristic of the diamond or the way that that diamond cutter liked the finish. That's his signature. When you flip it over the bottom, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to look and make sure that there's nothing on the outside. All your lines are fine. It's really just going over everything that you can, covering your basics. So what you're doing is just making sure that that diamond is perfect.
On the stake pieces, when you have line cuts, that doesn't in any way really devaluate the piece because of its settings, etc.
Right. Now, particularly with mine cuts, this particular part right here that Jeff is going to go over is they cut them extremely thin. So when you have a diamond that's 100 years old or 75, you're going to see chips. You're going to see abrasion, and that's just. I mean, the diamonds are destructible. They're not scratch proof. They're just highly scratch resistant. They're the toughest thing on earth. But they do scratch and they do chip. So when you have chips, depending on how big it is, or if it covers a huge part, that determines the value. But little wear and tear over 100 years is completely acceptable in the diamond industry. So
later on, we'll be having someone to look at the stake pieces.
Sure. And what you can do is you can actually set up an appointment too. If you just want us to kind of look at it.
Yes, today. I have a very large diamond.
Sure. Come and get me or Jeff or someone here, and we can kind of look at your diamonds and kind of go from there. So, what we're going to... One more question.
I'm just, as far as the estate pieces and perhaps chips in the diamond, is there any way that a jeweler can actually take those out without taking away from the diamond?
No, when it comes to chips, the only way to remove them is to recut the diamond or gemstone. So you can't fill it or put a putty in it or anything else.
Smaller.
All you can do is pull the diamond, send it to a recutter, and have them finish. In fact, if you look at the TV right here, at this moment, we're cutting the diamond right there. So you send it to these guys, and they recut this. And this is actually in Antwerp, Belgium right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 2-minute break for those who want to get water or another refreshment. And then Jeff is going to take the stage and go over diamond characteristics, okay?